Is this personal for you because of what's happened?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like, there's no way people can just get away with putting their hands on me, and that's just, you're getting a free pass. Because that means they get to see it again, maybe, and they get another go at it. So, yeah, it's still a bit of pill to swallow. It's not a lot.
We won't be any more of it, that's for sure. And everybody wants to show some respect to each other. And let's see the fight where it should happen, in the ring.
You know, I think when you're getting poked like that in a face-to-face, you know, after a while the temper goes.
This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next. And I'm a storyteller, and I love the interest and intrigue in matchups, and I think this is a fight that the casuals will just revel in. Is it controversial? Have we already seen controversy?
This got to a point where Fabio is stumbling around. He's not even aware of his surroundings, it doesn't look like. The doctors are checking on him round after round, and you know, I said Daniel had big stones to get off the canvas. Fabio Wardley's got a chin of iron because he ate some absolute nukes. Shots that put Anthony Joshua on the floor from Daniel Dubois and probably would have put a lesser man in the hospital that night. I mean, I'm sure Fabio's in the hospital now, but stretcher.
Wardley neglected all of his little bit of boxing skill, what he's learned over the white collar and through the fights that he's been involved in. I mean, he's had a fantastic career, and I don't think this is the end of Fabio Wardley at all, but he showed that he's a bit naive and a bit green. Like I said, his attacks were very crude. I don't know what Ben Davison should have been telling him. Stop throwing that overhand right from out of range. It's like he's looking for the knockout punch. He's not even got his feet.
There's a slight difference, fighting a world champion, a legitimate world champion for a title, and beating a world champion who's already a world champion. And Fabio Wardley hasn't beat a current world champion to be the champion, has he?
Josie Park rematch, but I don't think he should fight. I genuinely don't think he should take that rematch. I think that's too dangerous. I genuinely think he took way too much punishment, and that was so severe. If I were him, I'd never fight again.
So the first half of the fight, he kept his shape. You know, the jabs were working, dominant head to body, kept slinging that big right hand over the top. Now and again, he's whipping it up the middle. He had good feet for a big guy, good feet. And I thought, you look the part. But then there was no plan B that he could rely on if that didn't work. And you saw from round 6, he lost his shape. The shape had gone because there was no plan B. You know, when he get hit, it was like he completely turned. And trust me, this boy's got no.
The airport erupted into absolute chaos. Fabio Wardley just attacked Daniel Dubois after that brutal knockout, and security couldn't control what happened next. Fans are calling it the most explosive post-fight confrontation in years.
Fabio was not ready for boxing. You no jab, nothing, looking for power shots. It's like he didn't train. He was busy commentating. Little bastard. He was supposed to fucking train in the gym. Dude, how many jabs did Fabio chuck? Last jab, he didn't chuck no jabs. He didn't do anything with.
Here's what nobody saw coming. Wardley was still fuming from the knockout loss and couldn't let it go. He stormed right up to Dubois, shoving him and screaming about cheating. The man was completely unhinged.
Fabio Wardley has got a heart as big as a bucket, and some of the punches he took last night, he may not come back from, because he was taking right hands, he was eating them so flush. It was quite brutal to watch at times. I've actually felt sorry for Fabio.
But here's where it gets wild. Wardley is actually demanding an immediate rematch while accusing Dubois of dirty tactics. Did you catch that? He's claiming the knockout wasn't legitimate. That's some serious delusion right there.
Entertaining round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both gave everything they had. I could watch that.
Even Frank Warren admitted this whole mess is damaging boxing's reputation. But listen, the tension between these two has gone completely personal now. What started as a heavyweight war just became the nastiest rivalry in the division.
what a warrior he is, and came through that test. You know, coming off the back of a loss, I was a bit nervy to start off with and a bit all over the place, but I pulled it together and got the victory.
Eddie Hearn couldn't believe how close this came to a full brawl. We're talking about two massive heavyweights ready to throw down in an airport terminal. Security was seconds away from losing complete control of the situation.
This fight was very hard for two guys, you know, but I think for the crowd was also a nice fight. Unbelievable, I like it.
Was you surprised about the heart that Daniel showed you down?
Yes, 100% I was surprised. But you know, Daniel gave a good performance. You know, he was in the first and then the 4 rounds.
Now get this part. Adam Smith says this chaos is exactly what boxing needs right now. The drama, the emotion, the pure hatred between these fighters. He thinks moments like this create the biggest fights in the sport.
It wasn't the most skilled heavyweight fight I've ever seen, but it was just right. It was right the fans wanted to see. Fans wanted that. I mean, that was blood and guts, but God and name Dubois, good fight.
But here's the scary reality check. Multiple experts are saying Wardley took way too much punishment in that fight. Wade Plemons painted a brutal picture of the damage he absorbed. We're talking career-threatening levels of punishment here.
It was just incredible. I couldn't believe what I was watching at times there. I mean, listen, it was all going wrong at the start, wasn't it? When Fabio put him down a couple of times, but Daniel showed the heart of a lion in there, got it together, got behind his jab, and really started busting Fabio up. And by the way, Fabio Wardley is one hard bastard. My God, what a hard man. So is Daniel Dubois. Two very, very tough, strong men going at it for the world heavyweight title.
Carl Froch broke down exactly what went wrong for Wardley. Instead of boxing smart, he abandoned all fundamentals and chased the knockout. That reckless aggression left him wide open for those devastating right hands that ended everything.
What a fight! And what a chin! I can't believe, after all that, after all the punishment it took, Wardley's still never been down. Incredible chin. The man's built different. Unbelievable. And what a performance on Dubois.
The most brutal assessment came from Dominic Ingle. He's questioning whether Wardley can even compete at elite level anymore after absorbing that kind of damage. That's a harsh reality check about heavyweight boxing's unforgiving nature.
Put him over, Dubois got back up. Dubois was nervous as anything. Felt bad for him in the first round, he was really jittery. Fabio probably really, looking back, I should have just jumped all over him, because Dubois, as great as Dubois is, and he's a fantastic fighter. On top, he's probably the best heavyweight in the world on top. You know, Usyk befuddled him, and you know he can get beat Dubois because he's a real enigma, to be honest. I'm a big fan of him, but he's there. He's just.
Barry McGuigan delivered the most serious warning of all. He's saying a rematch could put Wardley at genuine risk. When a veteran like McGuigan shows that level of concern, you know the damage was absolutely devastating.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He showed what he was made of tonight, and he delivered. That's all I can say.
What were you saying to him in between rounds?
Knock him out.
Stan, before you go, do you want to see him fight Alexander Usyk again?
No, I want to see him fight this.
Johnny Nelson exposed the biggest flaw in Wardley's game. Once his initial tactics failed, he had zero backup plan. Elite heavyweights can't survive without adaptability, and that breakdown cost him everything in this fight.
Well, there is a rematch clause, so we'll see what happens.
If they decide to pass it for now.
We'll see what pans out in the next few months with all these various heavyweight fights that are happening. And that'll determine.
Derek Chisora didn't hold back either. He criticized Wardley for abandoning basic boxing skills and relying purely on raw power. Against elite opposition like Dubois, that approach becomes a recipe for disaster every single time.
Anthony Joshua had a rematch clause when he fought Daniel. That's up to them. If they want to exercise it, like I said, it's too premature. Let's go and digest this win. Let Daniel go and have some rest. Remember, that's him coming off the back of a loss, a stoppage loss, and to pull out that sort of performance.
So there you have it. The fight created absolute chaos, the rivalry has turned toxic, and experts are genuinely worried about Wardley's future. This isn't just about one knockout anymore. We're watching a division get reshaped while one fighter's career hangs in the balance. Here's my question for you. Should this rematch even happen given the damage concerns, or is Wardley done at elite level? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes, and subscribe because this heavyweight drama is far from over.